I would actually lie if I say that I did my entire path alone. Because in the first year, I met a woman that was actually a bit like my mentor. I came inside of her store and she said, "Whoa, there is something big behind you." I was looking back. I was just awakened. I said to everyone in the past months, "The dragon is real. I've seen the dragon." But of course, no one said anything. I was so shocked. I mean, I just saw the dragon realm. I was just awakened. I saw the dragons. I saw our place. And I didn't want to go away. But once I saw it, it was so beautiful. And I was not like before. I was awakened. I was changing, changing a lot inside of my spirit and mind. I didn't, sorry, I didn't know what was going on, but I knew one thing. I loved it. I loved the dragons, but of course everyone said, act normal. Just slow down. Just act like a normal person. I mean, I was like, whoa. I even transformed so much in my soul that I sometimes acted like draconic. Really, uh, yeah, it was intense. But she was actually, whenever I a bit like gave up by saying to the people the dragon is real, I've seen it, I've seen them. I was actually a bit like giving up, but I was entering inside of her store, and she said, "What is entering my store?" I said, "What are you talking about?" "I was looking at you," she said. "I'm going to get you something. Just hold on." And then she came with my dragon necklace that I wear it for so long. But that was not all. She was actually explaining a lot to me about dragons. She was actually a witch that was home in many ways. That she could feel a lot of spirits by people's sides, angels, but also demons. She can actually say a lot. And but in my ways actually of being in my development as a dragon witch, you can say that I sometimes needed her. And the thing that I was actually feeling a lot was emotions, negative emotions and light emotions. But the negative emotions were so darn strong. You have to know something now. The dragon's emotions can be really, really something high that you just cannot handle as a human. And I didn't know how to handle it because the emotions that you can have, the dragon is a natural empath. They can feel a lot of emotions from other people or other spirits. Um, but what was also developing was my own way of my development of a dragon emotions, dragon's feelings, the feelings what a dragon can have. Maybe you have felt it before. And when it's light, I mean, like, wow, it's like heaven. But when it's dark, it's really dark. And she saw this after a while. She saw this. I had a lot of difficulties with humans. After a while, it became difficult to live among humans as a human. Before, I just wasn't thinking of that. But once I was awakened, I had difficulties with humans. It was so darn difficult that I had to go to her and I bursted out in tears and I said to her, I cannot handle it. I cannot handle all of these emotions. I cannot handle all of these energies. How can I handle it? And she said, oh, wait, um, she understood what I was going through, and she said, she held a crystal, a green crystal, and she said, whatever kind of emotions that you have, put all of your emotions with all of your draconic energy inside of that crystal, but don't forget to give it to someone else. Give all the energy, the negative energy, to someone that deserves your energy, your darkest energy, you can say. And so I said, how can this be? I mean, I never did dragon witchcraft or dragon magic. So this was actually one of the first things that I ever did. Of course, I didn't even know that opening the dragon's gate is witchcraft, is magic. But yeah, now it's time to really do something with my hands and hoping that it will help. So I put this crystal in my hand, like she said that I should, and like she said, it works like a sponge. With all of your darkest emotions and energies, just scream, roar, hiss, do whatever you think that a dragon is. I mean, do whatever your mind says. Become the dragon with a lot of anger. Just like, rah, do it like this. And put all of your darkest emotions, your hate, your feelings of grief and pain, and just do it. Just because dragons actually don't hate. They can handle it. But you're a human. You cannot. You should get rid of it. So get all of this inside of your crystal and give it to someone else. And so I did. And so I did. I didn't yet made my dragon altar yet, but I was doing it after it. So this crystal with a dragon on it was, and she said, give it to someone, because if you don't give it to someone, it returns to its master. It returns to where it comes from. So now I had to give it to someone that I really cannot stand, and I said, oh, hold this for me. And she said, why? Oh, just look how beautiful it is. Just tricking, actually, this person. Oh, I'm a bad man. um, yeah, but she was really horrible. Yeah, so yeah. Um, I gave it to her. I actually she was I didn't really give it. I was opening my hand and she was getting it and said, "Oh wow, this is really beautiful indeed." So now give it back, please. So before, no, I said hold it tight, please, and she did, and now she gave it back to me. It was like, wow, there was indeed lesser energy on it. And the day after, I I didn't saw her, I didn't see her again, and I said, what is wrong? Uh, she was she had a miscarriage, and in one day I immediately I didn't even know that she was pregnant. Uh, oh my goodness, that was something that I said, oh my goodness, it worked. All of this, but I didn't know what what the outcome was of this, of course. But this showed me that dragon energy is really, it's really strong. You just cannot laugh or make jokes with it. It's really something very, very powerful. Something that really blows me away. It blowed me away. How powerful it is. Of course, I can feel the dragon, you can feel the dragon, but the power of the dragon, whenever it's light or dark, it's definitely very light or very dark. It's really something grey, something that you need to understand of your own self and how powerful you can be as a dragon witch. Very powerful. It's not to brag, but the energy of a dragon, the dragon in itself, is not to make fun of. It's something very serious. Something, a power that you possess, a power of nature, a power of the elements that goes through us. And now that I did it, like the emotions, what you have here inside of your mind is very important. Very much. Because the dragons, they don't feel hate, they don't feel it, they can control it. But we as humans, we need to learn to control it. And sometimes we just cannot. And that is what she actually said, my mentor, you can say. Sometimes the dragon is just way too powerful, and sometimes that is what you cannot do with dragons. You cannot chain dragons, and that is what lives inside of you and also by your side, she said. This is actually what no one can do. No one can control the dragon, and you cannot sometimes control the dragon that lives inside. Sometimes it's light, sometimes it's dark. It's like heaven and hell, she said. It's like the void and the realm. And sometimes you need creativity to get rid of it. Sometimes it becomes too powerful, and sometimes that you need some confirmation how powerful you can be. I had more than one confirmation how powerful a dragon can be, and how powerful dragon magic can be, and dragon witchcraft. In itself, it's so powerful that it can That is also what can happen if you that is also what happens. The dragon can read you. The dragon knows what is on your mind. Whenever you have such a dark emotions towards someone or something, then it can be that the dragons will react. Your dragons by your side, or the dragon that lives inside, because that is how powerful it can be. The dragons inside, the dragon that you are, your dragon self, can take some action whenever something gets too strong to, yeah, like I said, you cannot chain the dragon, you cannot chain you. Whenever you are awakened, your dragon doesn't cannot be chained, you cannot control it, it just comes. That is what you become. No one can control the dragon, no one can control you, not a human. That is what she said to me. She said, whenever I've never seen or felt something as strong as I felt with you. And whatever I can feel and make out of it is that no one or nothing can control what is by your side and what you are. So you cannot, it always has to go outside, it always has to go inside of freedom. The dragon is always freedom. Yeah, she was actually a very good mentor until she moved away. Um, but yeah, like I said, I was not really alone, luckily for me, because whenever something very dark happened, and that is what we all can have. We can all have such a high, uncontrollable emotions, and it comes from the dragon. You shouldn't, I mean, no one actually expect from the dragon to have such a high emotions, but these dragons, all of them, have this. But our human selves sometimes need to learn with and how to live with this.